Hi everyone, welcome to our NEET Academy. In today's class, we will solve problem on journal entries. So we have already solved one problem on journal entry, that is passing the journal entries in journal book. Let's see the problem number 2. Journalize the following transactions. So in this problem, they have given certain transaction and we have to pass all these entries in journal book. Let's see the first transaction. On 1st July, business commenced with cash of rupees 6 lakh. Okay, on 1st July, business commenced with cash. So cash is a asset. Started business with cash means cash comes into the business. The cash balance will increase. As you know, cash is a asset. So what is the rule of asset? I have written here rules of debit and credit. Started business with cash means cash comes into the business. The cash balance will increase and cash account, cash is a asset. And the rule for asset is, see the point number 1, increase in assets is to be debited and decrease in assets is to be credited. Started business with cash means the cash balance will increase. So cash account we have to debit. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತು. So first transaction ಅಲ್ಲಿ cash ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಮತ್ತು ಡೆಬಿಟ್ ಮತ್ತು ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆದ್ರೆ assets value increase adre, it is to be debited. So in this first transaction, we have to debit cash account. And whatever the amount invested by the owner to start the business, that amount is called capital. So first transaction only, first one, cash balance increase agatte. That's why we have to debit the cash account. And the second is capital account. So what is the rule for capital? See here rule, capital third one, increase in capital is to be credited and decrease in capital is to be debited. So if first transaction ಏನಾಗಿದೆ, capital balance, capital value increase ಆಗಿದೆ. So capital account is to be credited as per the rules of debit and credit. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತು first transaction? Business commenced with cash rupees 6 lakhs means here the cash account is debited because the cash balance is increased. And the second is capital account. The value of capital is increased. And as per the rule of capital, increase in capital is to be credited. So cash account is to be debited and capital account is to be credited in this first transaction. So let's pass the journal entries in journal book. See a solution, write the heading journal entries. So columns are date, particulars, LF. LF means ledger folio. Debit amount, credit amount. Clear these columns? Date, particulars, LF, debit and credit. So first we have to write the date, that is 1st July 2017. So in this first transaction, ಯಾವ account and debit ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? Cash account is to be debited and capital account is to be credited. So the entry will be cash account debtor to capital account. So ಯಾವ್ದು account debit ಆಗಿದೆ? That one we have to take first, and the account which is credited we have to write in next line with the word to. So the entry is cash account debtor to capital account. So cash account amount ಅನ್ನು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬರಿಬೇಕು? In debit column and the amount is 6 lakhs. So cash account debtor, write the amount in debit column 6 lakh to capital account. Capital account is credited. So in credit column, write 6 lakh. And we have to write the narration compulsory. So the narration is being started business with cash. Understood? This narration is a brief description or the brief information of that particular transaction. So ಯಾವ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಪಾಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಮಾಹಿತಿಯನ್ನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರಿಬೇಕು. That is called narration. So first transaction is cash account debtor to capital account and the amount is 6 lakh and the narration is being started business with cash. So after passing the entry you have to draw a line. So the first entry is completed. Now we'll see the second transaction. See the problem. On 3rd July rupees 4,50,000 deposited in bank account. So in 3rd July, the owner of the business has deposited 4,50,000 rupees in bank account. So in this second transaction, two accounts will appear. One is bank account and another is cash account. And both the accounts are assets. ಹೌದಲ್ಲ cash in hand, cash at bank, both are assets. Cash deposited in bank account means the bank balance will increase. Increase in bank balance, increase in assets is to be debited. So ಈ second transaction ಅಲ್ಲಿ bank account ಅನ್ನು ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಡೆಬಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Then cash deposited in bank means bank balance will increase. Cash at bank will increase, but on the other hand, cash in hand, cash balance will decrease. And decrease in cash balance, decrease in assets is to be credited. So, ಈ second transaction ಅಲ್ಲಿ deposited ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಡೆಪಾಸಿಟೆಡ್ ಇನ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ನಾವು ಡೆಬಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಹಣ ಡೆಪಾಸಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಡೆಬಿಟ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್. ಡೆಪಾಸಿಟ್ ಆಯ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಂತಹ ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್. ಗಾಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ deposited in bank account is to be debited because the bank balance is increased. And on the other hand, cash in hand is decreased by rupees 4,50,000. So cash account is to be credited. So the entry is bank account debtor to cash account. So we'll pass the entries right here. Date 3rd July 2017. So which account is debited in this second transaction? Bank account. So write bank account debtor to cash account. Amount is 4,50,000. Debit side write 4,50,000. Credit 4,50,000. Both side you will write the same amount. And the narration is being cash deposited in bank. Now we'll see the third transaction. On 8th July, insurance paid by check rupees 2,500. Insurance paid. Insurance paid means insurance premium paid. Okay. So insurance paid means it is a expenses. Okay. Anything. Insurance paid, stationery purchased, rent paid, salary paid, cartage paid, commission paid. So anything paid means or payment made means it is a expenses. So in this third transaction, insurance paid by check. Insurance paid, it is a expenses. So expenses ಏನಾಗಿದೆ ಈ ಥರ್ಡ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. And increase in expenses is to be debited. See this rule. See the second one. For expenses and losses, what is the rule of debit and credit? Increase in expenses is to be debited and decrease in expenses is to be credited. So, ಈ third transaction ಆಗಿದೆ insurance paid by check. The expenses of the business is increased. So, insurance account or insurance premium account is to be debited. And this insurance payment is made by check. ಅರ್ಥ to pay insurance premium ಅನ್ನ ಹೇಗೆ ತುಂಬಿದಾರೆ ಅವರು? By giving the check. By giving the check means which balance will decrease? Cash in hand balance will decrease or cash at bank will decrease? Cash at bank. ಹೌದಲ್ಲ? So in third transaction, we have to prepare two accounts. Number one is insurance premium account or insurance account. And it is a expenses. So increase in expenses is to be debited. So insurance premium account ಅನ್ನ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು? Debit ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಯಾವ್ದು ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ? ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್. Why this we have to take bank account? Because the insurance is paid by check. ಚೆಕ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ? ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಿನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೇವೆ. ಹೌದಲ್ಲ? So bank balance will decrease. And decrease in bank balance is to be credited. So in this third transaction, insurance account is to be debited and bank account is to be credited. The entry date is 8th July 2017. Insurance premium account debtor to bank account. And the amount is 2500. On credit side also say 2500. And the narration is being payment of insurance premium by check. And this third entry is over. Let's see the next transaction. On 10th July, sale of goods on credit to Mohit, rupees 10,000. In this transaction, they have clearly mentioned that the goods are sold to Mohit on credit basis. Goods ಅನ್ನ ಸೇಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಆದ್ರೆ ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಇನ್ನು ರಿಸೀವ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ. So sale of goods on credit to Mohit rupees 10,000. So in this transaction, we have to prepare two accounts. That is one sale of goods, that is sales account, and the next is Mohit account. Okay, first we'll see the sales account. So first ಯಾವ್ದು ಬರ್ತದೆ? Sales account. Sales account is a revenue account. Okay, by selling the goods, it generates income. ಹೌದಲ್ಲ? Goods and sale ಮಾಡಿದ್ಮೇಲೆ cash business ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತದೆ. So sales account is a revenue account. And what is the rule for revenue? What is the rule of debit and credit for revenue? See the fifth point here in modern rules of debit and credit. For revenue and gains, decrease in revenue is to be debited and increase in revenue is to be credited. Sale of goods ಅಂದ್ರೆ goods sale ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ business ಇನ earnings ಏನಿದೆ revenue ಏನಿದೆ increase ಆಗಿದೆ and increase in sales or increase in revenue is to be credited as per the rules of debit and credit. So ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು? ಸೇಲ್ಸ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Then one more account is the Mohit's account. In this transaction, Mohit is a debtor and debtor is a asset. So Mohit account is to be debited and sales account is to be credited. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತು? ಈ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು? ಮೋಹಿತ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಡೆಬಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಮೋಹಿತ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಡೆಟರ್. ಈ ಡೆಟರ್ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ? ಡೆಟರ್ ಇನ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. And debtor is a asset. So assets increase ಆಯ್ತು, debtor increase ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು? ಡೆಬಿಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಯಾವ್ದು ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು? ಸೇಲ್ಸ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್. ಸೇಲ್ಸ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ರೆವೆನ್ಯೂ ಅಕೌಂಟ್. ರೆವೆನ್ಯೂ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಯ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. So here Mohit account is to be debited and sales account is to be credited. So we'll pass the entries. Write the date 10th July 2017. Mohit's account debtor to sales account. And write the amount debit 10,000, credit 10,000. And the narration is being goods sold on credit. Let's see the next entry. On 11th July, purchased machinery rupees 20,000. Purchased machinery. Machinery is a asset. Machine ಖರೀದಿ ಮಾಡಿದಾರಂದ್ರೆ machine comes into the business. The assets value will be increased. So machinery account is to be debited. So machine ಅನ್ನು ಹೇಗೆ ಖರೀದಿ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಅವರು? by paying the cash. ಹೌದಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅವರು ದಟ್ ಮಷಿನರಿ ಇಸ್ ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ಡ್ ಆನ್ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಬೇಸಿಸ್ ಆರ್ ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಅಂತ. ಬಟ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಇಸ್ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಥಿಂಕ್ ದಟ್ ದ ಮಷಿನರಿ ಇಸ್ ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ಡ್ ಫಾರ್ ಕ್ಯಾಶ್. ಸೊ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಯಾವ್ದು ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಡೆಬಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? ಮಷಿನರಿ ಅಕೌಂಟ್, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಮಷಿನರಿ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಅಸೆಟ್ and increase in assets is to be debited. So machinery account is to be debited. But payment ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ cash balance decrease ಆಗುತ್ತೆ and decrease in cash balance is to be credited. So what will be the entry? Machinery account debtor to cash account. So write the entry date 17 July. Machinery account debtor to cash account, and the amount is 20,000. Credit also same 20,000. And the narration is being machinery purchased for cash. Next transaction is on 14th July. Received a check from Mohit rupees 10,000. 10th July ಗೆ have sold goods to Mohit on credit basis. ಅದಲ್ಲ goods ಅನ್ನು ಸೇಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ಆದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಬರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲಾಗಿತ್ತು. But now this Mohit has made the payment on 14th July. Amount is 10,000. So this payment is made in check. ಚೆಕ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ? The bank balance will increase. So here bank account is to be debited 14th July. Entry will be bank account debtor to Mohit account. Amount is 10,000. Okay, full payment he has made. We have sold goods worth of rupees 10,000 and on 14 July he made the full payment. Clear this transaction? Bank account debtor to Mohit account. And the narration is being check received from Mohit. On 16th July, purchased goods from Priya rupees 5,000. Purchasing of goods is a expenses. So in this transaction, we have to prepare purchases account. As I told you, when you purchase the goods, you should not prepare goods account. You have to prepare purchases account. Okay, for buying and for selling the goods, you have to prepare purchases account and sales account. And if you have purchased any fixed assets like machinery, building, furniture, etc. So for all these things, we have to take the particular name of that asset. But in case of goods, we have to prepare purchases account for purchasing the goods and we have to prepare sales account for selling the goods. Clear this point? So in this transaction, goods are purchased from Priya. So first we'll have to prepare purchases account. And purchase account is a expense. ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ನಾವು ಖರೀದಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಆ ವಸ್ತು ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ಸಿಗೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಬಟ್ ಅದ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ನಮ್ ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಪರ್ಚೇಸಸ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ನಾವು ಏನಂತ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ? ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅ business. So purchase account is a expenses and increase in expenses is to be debited. So in this transaction, we have to debit purchases account. So this goods is purchased from whom? Priya. So Priya is a creditor and creditor is a liability. And what is the rule for liability? See the fourth rules of debit and credit. Fourth one, liability. Decrease in liability is to be debited and increase in liability is to be credited. So, ಈ transaction ಅಲ್ಲಿ Priya ಏನು creditor and creditor is a liability. So, liability ಏನಾಗಿದೆ business ನ liability increase ಆಗಿದೆ and increase in liability is to be credited. So, Priya's account is to be credited. The entry will be purchases account debtor to Priya's account. So we'll pass the entry. First write the date 16th July. Purchases account debtor to Priya's account. And the amount is 5,000. And the narration being goods purchased on credit. On 19th July, drew cash for personal use. Okay, on 19th July, the owner of the business has withdrawn some cash from the business for his personal use. So when the owner of the business withdraws the cash from the business for his personal use, what it is called? It is called drawings. And these drawings will affect on the capital. The capital value will decrease. Withdrawing cash for the personal use will affect the capital. That is, it decreases the value of the capital. Decrease in capital is to be debited. See the rules for capital. Decrease in capital is to be debited and increase in capital is to be credited. Draw comes under capital and drawings will decrease the value of the capital. So we have to debit the drawings account. Cash withdraw ಆಯ್ತಂದ್ರೆ cash balance decrease ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So which account is to be credited? Cash account. Decrease in cash balance is to be credited. So in this transaction, drawings account is to be debited and cash account is to be credited. So the entry is on 19th July, drawings account debtor to cash account and the amount is 15,000 and the narration is being cash withdrawn for personal use. On 25th July, goods returned to Priya. Okay. See the 16th one, 16th transaction. We have purchased, the business has purchased the goods from Priya of rupees 5,000. The quality of goods is not good. The owner has returned the goods to Priya worth of rupees 1,000. So in this transaction, we have to prepare purchases return account and the second one is Priya's account. 16th July ಗೆ purchase account debtor to Priya's account ಆಗಿದೆ. Purchase return ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಏನು entry ಆಗುತ್ತೆ? See the 25th July entry. Priya's account debtor to purchases return account. Okay. Purchase account debit ಆಗಿದ್ದು ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ರಿಟರ್ನಿಗೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಯಾವ ಪರ್ಸನ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಗೂಡ್ಸ್ ಯಾವ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಗೂಡ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಖರೀದಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ಆಗಿದಾಗ that person's account is to be debited. Understood this transaction? Goods returned to Priya. That is a purchase return. On 16th July, we have purchased the goods from Priya, and on 25th July, the owner has returned the goods to Priya worth of rupees 1,000. Entry is Priya's account debtor to purchases return account, and the amount is 1,000. And the narration is being goods returned to Priya. And the last transaction is paid salaries rupees 8,000. Paid salaries, salary is a expenses and it is to be debited. So the entry is salary account debtor to cash account. Cash balance decrease ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So it is to be credited. Narration is being salary paid. Amount 8,000. Okay, I have taken all the entries in one sheet, so it will be very easy to add the amounts. So now add all these figures. 6 lakh plus 4 lakh 50,000 plus 2,500 plus 10,000 plus 20,000 plus 10,000, 5,000, 15,000, 10,000, 8,000. Add this debit side and you will get the total 11,21,500. Credit side also you will get the same amount 11,21,500. If you have any doubts regarding any entries, please let me know in the comment section. Hope you liked the video. Thank you students for watching my video.